This is Power Paragliding News and Reviews, reporting from Panama City Beach. I'm Jeff Goyne. I am with Ray McMahon, and Ray represents Dudek Paragliders. Hello, Ray, and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Jeff. About myself, I've probably been working with Dudek now for 3 years. I've been in the industry since about 2002, and I think the first paraglider I flew was an ITV Opal, and then I quickly moved on to Reflex. And the first glider I was introduced to was the Dudek Action. And I've been flying that for about 3 years, and then I moved up to the Reaction, and then I got involved with Dudek after that. So
Okay.
I've basically been with Reflex gliders most of my flying career.
Okay, and is this your full-time job?
No, it's not a full-time job, but it's the only job I've got.
Are you retired?
I'm sort of retired, yeah.
Okay, that's handy. So tell me, why would someone want what you sell, the Dudek glider?
Basically, speed, stability. That's the big improvement in paragliding, PPG, since I've been in it. It's the speed and the stability. And they're the main points, in my opinion. And since 2002, they've moved massively into an easier launching glider. In the older days, they were quite difficult to launch and they were a bit heavier, but the new gliders like the Dudek Nucleon and the Plasma, they're much more efficient than they were. And I'm only talking about my gliders, but there's a lot of good Reflex gliders out there. So
okay,
we're in a very competitive industry.
And what would set the Dudek Reflex gliders apart?
I think mainly because they're top of their trade. They're still innovating on a regular basis, and I think you can only really judge a high-profile wing by the pilots.
High profile, what do you mean high profile?
Mercedes, BMW, that sort of thing. That's the way I class them in the PPG industry. And most people that fly them, we've got a very high percentage of competition pilots that fly Dudek. So if you say it separates, I think we're lead in the field right now. That's just my opinion, of course. But 40% of competition pilots use Dudek Reflex gliders, so that's good. So I think that in itself tells you the quality of the product.
Okay, well, can you tell us a little bit about, we've got the risers here so that you can show us some of the differences, and these are the risers to what?
The Plasma.
Okay, and this wing is for who?
The Plasma is basically for a very advanced competition pilot. It's an uncertified competition wing. But the main reason why it's uncertified is because it's regularly tweaked. If you get a glider that's certified and you change something, you have to recertify it, and that's expensive. So Dudek keep the Plasma uncertified for that reason. Not because it's not safe or anything like that, it's more of an experimental wing. They're always tweaking it.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about, a pilot, are these risers typical to other Reflexes?
I would say they're pretty typical for Reflex because they've got massive trim range. The trim range on them go from -5 to +12 on the Plasma, and it's pretty much the same with the Nucleon and the other synthesis that we have. So it's a massive trim range. You can go really slow or you can go really fast. Now in the neutral and minus zone, they basically fly like a paraglider. Not quite as stable, but in a full Reflex mode, I don't find anything as stable as a Reflex glider.
Now, there's a little bit of controversy over how do you fly a Reflex glider in turbulence?
Well, me personally, I fly it full Reflex with my hands on my lap. And if I need to turn, I use a tip steer. I never use the brakes.
Show us the tip steering on these risers.
This tip steer here, this is the tip steer on the Plasma. Now the Plasma is the only one in the line that's still got the twin toggle system. You've got the brake toggles for the normal brake system, and then when you put it into full Reflex mode, you use the tip steer. But Plasma's still got two toggles.
What do the others have?
They have an alternate line control. It's called ALC, and the Nucleon and the synthesis both have that system. And it's an easier system to use. You can grab it on like a flexible rubber line, and it has a red ball like that, and you just easily grab it with your fingers and you can let it go, and it just flops back out into the riser set. So it's
okay.
Very easy to grab and very easy to let go. It's not quite as difficult as two toggles.
Okay.
The advanced pilot doesn't have a problem with two toggles.
So maybe we'll have to look at that sometime when we get one over here. So how's the show going for you?
Well, the show's going very good. It's the third time I've been here. Last year was very good. This year I think it's even better. There's more vendors, plenty of vendors, and there's a lot of families here. My wife's here this time, which is good because I get fed regularly. And there's lots of restaurants around, lots of shops for people to do things. And if it's not flyable, we can go shopping, you know, which is great. And there's no dust in my gliders.
Wait a minute. Okay, there's no dust, but what about the sand?
Sand's clean though. You can get rid of sand, but dust, it sticks onto the top of the glider, and basically you got to wash it to get it out. But sand's not a problem.
Okay, that's true. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Ray.
Okay, you're welcome, Jeff.
Reporting from Panama City Beach, this is Jeff Goyne for Powered Paragliding News and Reviews.